Big drama in the middleweight division as Chimaev fires back at Sean Strickland after that massive callout in Houston. And things got so heated that the UFC actually cut Sean's mic during the press conference. Alright guys, let's get into it. We're starting with two big fights just announced during UFC Houston. First up, Sean Brady takes on Joaquin Buckley in the main event of UFC Vegas 116 at the Apex on April 25th. That's number 6 versus number 9 in the welterweight rankings, and both guys are coming off tough, high-profile losses. This is a huge bounce-back fight with serious division implications. But that's not all. Also official, Ronaldo Moicano vs Chris Duncan will headline UFC Vegas 115 on April 4th. And here's the wild part, Moicano was actually live on stream when the fight got announced and revealed he hadn't even agreed to it yet.
Olha o Calvo aí, man. Caralho, anunciaram a luta do Calvo sem eu ter assinado. Caralho, mané. Que isso? Como assim? Caralho, eu também não sei não, man.
Now, one of the most emotional moments of the night had nothing to do with a fight. Bruce Buffer was honored for 30 years with the UFC during the Houston event. A full tribute video package played inside the arena, celebrating a career that started all the way back at UFC 8 in 1996.
Ladies and gentlemen, we congratulate the inimitable veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer, last year's celebrating 4 years. Congratulations!
You could see it meant everything to him. Later at the desk, Buffer admitted there were tears and said he still feels the same passion every time he steps into the octagon. He even joked that he's aiming for UFC 400 before even thinking about retirement.
Absolutely, it was recognition from the crowd because the UFC fans are just incredible. It was recognition, humbly said, from my peers and the powers that be at the UFC and everybody I work with, including all of you. So it just meant so much to me. And yes, there were tears. Absolutely. You know, a man who can't show tears at a vital moment in their life, they're missing something.
It's so rare for anybody to do something for 30 years and still have the same passion that they had in the beginning. Where does that come from?
You know, when I stepped in the octagon 30 years ago, obviously, again, my evolutionary process, things have changed, the way I announce, the way I move, and everything else. But I will tell you truth to date today. Every night I walk in that octagon, I have to prove to myself, to you, to the fans, the powers that be, everybody watching, and especially to the fighters, that I deserve to be there and share that moment and roar them and enhance that moment for them as best as possible. I always say the show is not about me, because it's not. It's about the fighters and it's about the fans, and that's what we're here to do. But I have to prove to myself, and the moment that I don't have that passion and the moment that I physically and mentally can't do it the way I want to do it, that's when the time would be for me to retire. But you know what? UFC 400, here I come, and then I'll make a decision after that.
Meanwhile, in heavyweight news, Jailton Almeida has already found a new home. Just 9 days after being cut from the UFC following back-to-back losses, Almeida has signed with ACA Absolute Championship Akhmat, one of the top promotions in Europe. Many expected him to land in the PFL, but talks didn't lead anywhere. Instead, he's heading to Russia and will reportedly continue fighting at heavyweight, targeting the reigning ACA champion. That's a big move and a fresh chapter for him. Now let's talk about the main event in Houston. Sean Strickland delivered one of his most impressive performances yet, stopping Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez in the 3rd round. He was sharp, aggressive, and that jab was working all night. A brutal knee up the middle changed everything, and once Hernandez wobbled, Strickland poured it on until Herb Dean stepped in at 2:33 of round 3. The MMA world reacted instantly. Henry Cejudo suggested Strickland vs Nasruddin Imavov for a vacant title. Belal Muhammad pointed out that body shots are Fluffy's kryptonite. And even Conor McGregor chimed in with high praise. Gregor posted that Strickland's win is proof of what hours and hours of sparring can do. He even coined his own term for that messy, ego-free gym work, claiming it builds world champions. Then he teased that his own return could be against a no-name opponent, saying he's ready, just send the contract. But the real fireworks came at the post-fight press conference. Strickland started by joking with media members, but things quickly shifted when Khamzat Chimaev's name came up.
You have obviously made the case for the Khamzat fight. I feel like it's probably one of the biggest fights in the division.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody who wants to see two little go-fuckers go at it. You want to see a real American fight this little Chechen in American soil. This is the fight that needs to happen.
Yeah, I hate to spoil it for you. I don't think you're going to get on the White House card.
I mean, dude, who knows, dude? You know, I mean, no, dude. Maybe I got to go hang up on Epstein or something. I guarantee, dude. Chimaev would go to a island. That motherfucker going all day long, that dirty little.
He also pushed back on Khamzat's past claims about dominating him in sparring.
Made him quit training. Witnesses in the audience. Where's Eric at? I made him quit. No, dude. We're doing positional grappling, and he positional grappling. All right, start on my back, and I was like first round. I let him choke me because it's like no one gives a fuck. Let me tell you about this little. I'll tell you. When I walk into a gym, do you think that I go find the little weakest man? I say, let's spar. I say, no, I go find the biggest, baddest motherfucker. I'm like, hey, I want to spar you. Every time Chimaev would walk in the gym, he would pick the smallest, lowest level pro and say, but oh, he looks like my opponent. You're beating the out of it. And this is a true story. You guys could back me up, my team. He would pick the smallest guy. Chimaev's a bully. And if you notice what he does in the division, he just runs and hides. Oh, now I want to go to 205 and fight Yuri, who's not even the champ, dude. You just run and hide. You did it when you train with us, and you're doing the.
Strickland even addressed an awkward moment with Anthony Hernandez after the fight.
I think after the fight, dude, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, when you flipped off my daughter," and I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about? Like, I never flipped off your daughter. I didn't even. What the f- you talking about? She was in the crowd and she thinks you flip you out like Fluffy." There was hundreds of people in the crowd booing me. Do you think that I looked at a little girl and flipped her off? No, I wouldn't do that, dude. I'm apologizing to him because here I am. Her kid just watched me beat up her dad thinking I'm this racist skinhead. I'm like, dude, I feel like a piece of shit now, Fluffy. Thank you. Thank you for letting me win this fight. Now making me feel like a piece of shit, dude. So once I get done, I got to call Fluffy and make an apology to his kid now because I feel like a piece of shit.
But then things spiraled. As Strickland continued ranting, the UFC abruptly cut his mic and ended the press conference.
Nobody. So. Thanks, guys. Oh, that's a wrap? Anyways.
Even without the mic, Sean kept talking, insisting he's the man to beat Chimaev and claiming he'll do anything to win.
That's a wrap? Anyways. Wait, I got one for Smo. It ain't a wrap, dog. Relax. UFC motherfucker. What's up, Smo?
I gotta ask you this. You stopped the guy with the 8-fight win streak. Do you feel like Sean Strickland did enough to get the next title shot in the middleweight division?
Yes. I don't think this thing works. I'll stand up. Yes, Judge, did enough. Listen, you don't want to see any of these motherfuckers fight that little Chechen. You want to see the last American in the sport go and that guy up. And that's what's going to happen.
What does Sean Strickland do to beat Khamzat Chimaev?
Anything I want, dude. Anything I want, dude. I'll bring a go. He'll get distracted. Anything I want.
Dana White later gave his thoughts. He praised Strickland's performance, saying he looked sharp and in great shape.
Thing of Sean and his performance tonight.
Yeah, he was in great shape tonight. Looked good, sharp, and got the job done.
Were you expecting more wrestling from Fluffy? It seemed like he had some success on the feet and wanted to keep it there. Were you expecting him to maybe mix it up a bit more?
I don't know what I was expecting. If you bet $300,000 on Strickland tonight, you won $1 million. A couple people did it on Polymarket, and so I don't think a lot of people expected Strickland to look as good as he did.
When asked whether Strickland's media antics affect his booking, Dana pushed back hard at reporters, saying if you ask dumb questions, you'll get dumb answers.
Like what he says during media day and things like that doesn't affect your booking of him, right? You are still happy to put him in those?
It's a nightmare. But you guys don't help. Asking them dumb shit, ask dumb shit, you're going to get dumb shit. What'd you think of Bad Bunny? What'd you think of the Super Bowl? Get the out of here. You kidding me? Yeah. So when you talk about what Strickland says, you guys like to push the button.
As for Khamzat Chimaev possibly moving up to 205, Dana shut that down quickly. He said he wants to see Chimaev defend his middleweight title before jumping divisions.
We've seen Khamzat Chimaev fight at welterweight. We see him fight at middleweight. Is he someone that if he says, hey, I want to fight at light heavyweight, we'd see him fight at light heavyweight?
I'd like to see him defend his title at a weight first. Yeah, I'd like to see him defend his title before he talks about jumping around from, you're going to keep going up in weight divisions without defending. Yeah, I'd rather see him.
On the other hand, When asked about Alex Pereira moving to heavyweight, Dana was much more open, saying Pereira is the type of guy who always steps up and the UFC would work with whatever he wants.
Alex Pereira teasing potentially going up to heavyweight. Do you want to see him compete at heavyweight, or do you want to see him defend the light heavyweight title in his next match?
Well, you know, he's one of those guys that that always steps up, does whatever we need him to do. Whatever that guy wants to do, we would work with.
Dana also reacted to Ronda Rousey's announced return against Gina Carano on Netflix, saying he's happy for both women even though the fight won't happen under the UFC banner.
Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano was announced to be on Netflix. Ronda said she approached you to have that fight, then she said that it didn't work out, and maybe financial reasons were because of that under the new Paramount era. Are you disappointed not to be hosting that fight, and are you happy to see Ronda return to MMA?
Yeah, you know, her and I have been talking about this since last year, and yeah, it just didn't work out. But I'm happy for it. Listen, me and Gina are in a really good place. We weren't at one point, and I'm happy for both of them.
And in true Dana fashion, he went off on Eddie Hearn over the Conor Benn situation, clearly not holding back.
I know about it when what?
Did you know about it when you were saying you were beating up babies?
Well, I think you saw this week, I am really beating up babies. Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
He was quite upset that Conor Benn left him.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn? This guy's supposed to be your friend. You're crying, he made more money. He's going to make more money, and he had the right to match it. He could have matched it.
I think he said he tried and Conor Benn wouldn't return his calls.
What a crock of yeah. We're literally beating up babies.
But now, back to the headline story. Khamzat Chimaev has officially responded to Sean Strickland's callout. After Sean demanded the fight, Chimaev took to social media and wrote, "Habibi, calm down. I destroyed the guy who beat you twice." Footage also surfaced of Khamzat watching Strickland's speech live, and he did not look happy.
I kind of thought you started going a little wild. And like, no part of you was slowing down. But to me, you're getting a little bit more sloppy. But like, no part of this man was slowing down. He was a savage.
Well, don't you just a second left here. Officer did not win. Florian just won 8 in a row. You stopped it. You're a former champion. What do you want next show?
Alright guys, that's the latest from the MMA world. Let me know in the comments, does Strickland deserve the next shot at Khamzat Chimaev? If you enjoyed the update, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in for more daily MMA news. And I'll catch you in the next one.